Brent Venables has built a monster in year 4 there. They're doing the thing. We mentioned Eli Bowen earlier. That secondary's ball hawking. They forced 3 turnovers in that first meeting, man. And like I said earlier, that was the key to the game. That was the key to their victory.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
They say it's hard to beat a good team twice, but what about beating a blue blood twice in 5 weeks? We got a massive college football playoff first-round matchup on our hands, guys, and the Alabama Crimson Tide, they're heading to Norman to face the Oklahoma Sooners. This Friday night, the number 8 seed versus the number 9 seed. It's the rematch of the 23-21 thriller from November, and the loser goes home. I'm Matt, that's Ryan, and this is Hunker Down Podcast.
Yeah, man, look, Alabama is dangerous, but Oklahoma, they have the defense that's playing out of its mind right now. Can Kalen DeBoer make the adjustments he needs, or does Brent Venables have his number? We are breaking down all the keys to the game, the injury reports, and making our picks right now. Welcome to the Hunker Down Podcast.
All right, man, let's set the table, Ryan. Friday night, Gaylord Family-Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. It's going to be absolutely rocking. We saw these two teams clash back in November in Tuscaloosa, and the Sooners walked out of there with a 23-21 victory. That was the game that basically secured Oklahoma this home field advantage. Big win for those guys.
Exactly, Matt. And if you go back and watch the tape of the first game, it was a weird one. Alabama actually moved the ball really well. Ty Simpson threw for over 300 yards, but turnovers absolutely killed them. You have the massive pick six by Eli Bowen that swung the momentum, and then the fumble late, of course. Oklahoma didn't dominate the stat sheet, but they dominated the moments that they needed most, and they made plays when they had to.
Yeah, they did, man, and those turnovers absolutely killed Alabama in that game, because we'll get into all the specifics of that first game in a minute, but that was the story of that first game was turnovers. But let's talk about the Sooners first. The big question mark is quarterback John Mateer. He's been battling a hand injury since that Auburn game, his thumb, and frankly, he hasn't looked 100% throwing the football since then. In the first matchup against Bama, he only threw for about 140 yards, but I'm going to tell you, he hurt him with his legs, though. That guy's got some legs on him.
That's the key to the game here. I mean, Mateer, he's a dual-threat guy. Even if his hand isn't perfect, his ability to scramble, extend drives, make plays. So I think he's going to do really well in this game. But the guy I'm watching is running back Xavier Robinson, Matt. He's finally getting healthy, and we know Alabama's run defense has been suspect at times this year. If Oklahoma can just get 4 or 5 yards a pop with Robinson and keep Ty Simpson on the sideline, I think they win this game. They don't need Mateer to be a hero. They just need him not to turn the ball over.
Yeah, bottom line, and I agree with you with Robinson. I think he's coming into his own, and he's coming into it at the right time. But let's flip over to the other side. Let's flip to the Tide for a second. We know what Ty Simpson can do. He's had a solid first season starting. He's throwing for over 3,000 yards this season, but the problem in that first game was efficiency in the red zone. They stalled out. Bottom line, they stalled out. They need to get the ball to their playmakers in space. And you know who I'm looking at? I'm looking at Ryan Williams, man. He's been quiet these last couple of weeks. And if they want to win on the road in the playoffs, man, he's going to have to wake up. It's time to bring it.
100%. It's not just the receivers. The offensive line has to protect Ty Simpson. And, Oklahoma's defensive front led by Mason Thomas, he's nasty, man. They led the SEC in scoring defense for a reason. In that first game, Simpson was under duress too often, Matt. And, if they can't pick up the blitz packages and things of that nature, Venables is going to throw everything at them. So it's going to be a long night for the Tide, in my opinion.
I And go back to your statement. Oklahoma's defense, number one in the SEC scoring defense. They're number one in that particular group. Let's stay on that Oklahoma defense for a second because I want to talk about this. Honestly, that's the story of their season. Brent Venables has built a monster in year 4 there. They're doing the thing. You know, we mentioned Eli Bowen earlier. That secondary's ball hawking. They forced 3 turnovers in that first meeting, man. And like I said earlier, that was the key to the game. That was the key to their victory. If they didn't have those turnovers, they're not walking out of there with that victory. So that's what you got to watch. Bama's going to have to watch out for it because they're coming for that ball.
Yeah, man, and the crowd noise is going to play a big factor in this game and into that defense. It's a night game in Norman. Ty Simpson hasn't played in an environment this hostile all year, I think personally. I mean, he might have, when he went to Athens, that was a pretty hostile environment. But this is the playoffs. The intensity is different. And I think the key for Oklahoma's defense is simply containing the big play. They gave up a few chunk plays in that last game. They need to tighten up in the red zone. If they force Alabama to kick field goals instead of scoring touchdowns, Sooners roll.
That's true, but on the flip side of that, Alabama's defense is actually been quietly pretty good, actually very good, despite the narrative. Dante Lawson has been a machine at linebacker for them guys. In the first game, they actually held the Oklahoma offense in check for the most part. 23 points isn't a disaster when you're talking about modern college football these days. 23 points is not bad.
No, it's not. And remember, 7 of those points were a defensive touchdown by Oklahoma. So Bama's defense really gave 16 points up. So that's winning football there. The issue is they have to create their own havoc, man. Alabama's pass rush, man, they need to get home to the quarterback. If Mateer is dropping back with a hurt hand, you have to hit him. You have to get him on the ground. You cannot let him sit back there and get comfortable. So I want to see Bama bring pressure early, get pressure on Mateer. And, if they can do that, they have a good shot at this game.
Well, and I think that's going to be one of their big game plans is to do that. But one area that we haven't touched on yet is special teams. All right. In a close game, a game this close, the spread is only 1.5 points right now. A missed kick or a big return, man, that changes everything in a game like this. Oklahoma, Isaiah Satigna, man, he is a threat every time he touches the ball on returns. That guy's a beast.
Yeah, he's electric. Satigna is maybe the fastest guy on the field. And then you look at their coaching, Matt. Kalen DeBoer, he's been great in close games historically, but he lost the first round of this chess match. And Venables is a defensive guy. He's a defensive wizard. And I think the coaching here and the advantage to go kind of leads towards Oklahoma's favor, in my opinion, just because, defense wins championships, Matt. And that's what I believe in. And so I think Oklahoma has a really good shot if their defense is rolling, getting to the quarterback, making Ty Simpson be one-dimensional like we've seen in the SEC title game. I think, like I said, the Sooners will roll in this game.
Yeah, and I believe, just like you said, they've been watching a lot of that SEC championship footage. But let's boil it down, man. Let's look at the final keys to victory. For Alabama, I said it earlier, it's protect the football. You cannot give Oklahoma short fields. Ty Simpson has to be smart. If the deep ball isn't there, check it down. Bottom line, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And for Oklahoma, you need to control the clock, run Xavier Robinson, use Mateer's legs, and grind this game down. If this game is played in the 20s, Oklahoma wins this game. If it gets into a shootout, maybe into the 30s or 40s, I think it kind of favors towards Alabama and their firepower with Ryan Williams and all their star players and receivers. Oklahoma wants a rock fight here, and they want this to be a defensive battle. And I think if that's the case, it kind of leans back towards Oklahoma's favor. But it's going to be a good game, Matt, regardless.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fight to the end on both sides of the ball. But Here it is. It's prediction time. The spread is basically just pick 'em. I'm having a hard time betting against the Tide on this one in a revenge spot. But I got to tell you, that atmosphere in Norman is going to be insane. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go against the grain here. I think Ty Simpson plays the game of his life. I think Bama cleans up on the turnovers, and I think they come out with a win, with a close win, 27-24. 27-24, roll Tide. They're going to roll over Oklahoma.
What are you saying right now? I can't believe you said that.
I know it, right?
I respect it. But I just can't do it. I'm not picking Alabama to win this game. I think the Oklahoma Sooners defense is real. They've got the psychological edge in this one as well, just having beaten them. So I think Mateer does just enough, and the defense forces enough turnovers, maybe a late turnover to seal the game. But give me the Sooners in a close battle, 20-17, a defensive struggle.
All right. Well, we're split. That means it's going to be a good one. Guys, let us know in the comments, who do you have, the Tide or the Sooners?
Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. And who knows, we might even do a post-game reaction to the game after it's over on Friday night. So we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Absolutely, man. And thanks for watching the Hunker Down Podcast. And without further ado, you know what it is, baby.
You know what it
Go
is.
Dogs! Go Dogs!
From Athens to the nation, our Bulldogs in the game. Kirby Smart's the mastermind, remember the name. Leading with precision, championships in sight. 2021 and 2022, we secured the fight. Stetson thrown darts, cold and precise. That was in the end zone, clutch every time, no ice.